on? We are streaming live on YouTube and on Facebook right now. What is going on right now? What is happening in the world? What is happening in your business? What is happening in your life? What is happening in your personal space? What's going on? Tell me the cool stuff. So I got this Whoop strap. That's something that's fun. So I got this little Whoop strap, and it's there to get your like heart rate variability, and it's there to get like some cool things. I got onto Clubhouse this week. Wow, that is a cool place, but that can be a complete time suck. It can totally suck your time up. Clubhouse is super cool, but it can totally suck your time up. I started eating carbs again about 2 weeks ago. That's been a whole lot of fun. I put on a little bit of a gut, which I don't love, but I need for the project coming up in about a month. Actually, it's a month tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 30-day countdown for the project. And for those of you who know, it's something I started about a year and a half ago in November of 2019. And I quit. It's something that I quit, and I hate myself for quitting it, but I love myself for stepping back up and putting in more work to do it again. So tell me some of the things that are going on in your world. Let's get in the chat. What's going on, people? Tell me what's up. What's good? What's troubling? What's challenging? What are you loving right now? What are you hating right now? I know that there's a lot of political unrest. We don't need to get into that unless you want to. We can, but I figured that we don't need to. I was talking to my buddy today, and he was talking about how one of the things that I had posted the other day about hiring and firing was super crazy. So we can talk about that. I think everybody likes talking about business. Oh, let me get the microphone out. Let's make sure that that's ready. So the other thing I asked people for this week I asked people for some feedback. And I got some really interesting feedback. As some of you know, I shifted over into the coaching world, and it's something that I want to do more full time and get out of kind of some of the brick and mortar things that I've been in. And so I asked some people for some feedback, and it was pretty amazing what people have to say. The journey that I've been through in my life personally is, I think, my biggest source of insecurity, but it's also my biggest source of gratitude, right? Struggling with alcohol, struggling with drugs, behind bars, divorce, being Indian, right? All these different things that I've been through in my life, I think have really helped shape me into a better man. So what are some of the things that have helped you? What are some of the things that you've gone through in your life that have helped make you? Remember, as we go through things, we always think that's the worst thing possible. But as we come out on the other side, we realize how strong it made us, right? So when you go to the gym and you're sitting there and you're sweating, and, like I hired a personal trainer a month ago. I just really needed somebody to help me with my form and my technique, to teach me some more things that I didn't know about in the arena of the gym. And so I hired a really amazing coach. And I'm so glad that I did, because not only do I feel like I have a new friend, but I have somebody who teaches me how to become a better person and pushes me when I might have let myself fall back a little bit, and can see where some of the things that I would allow myself potentially to slump on. But trust me, like when you're out there and you're banging out a 30-second high intensity row, and you're sweating and you're dying, and it's workout number 9, and it's it's Tuesday or Wednesday, and you've already done 4 or 5 workouts. You've already run, you've already boxed, you've already ran a few miles, and you're tired, right? Your body's tired. Just having that support is somewhat nice. Being around other people that suffer is nice. I mean, I think that's what I like about the gym, is that you get the camaraderie, whether you know the people or not, knowing that people are doing good things for themselves and they're suffering together. There's something about suffering together that is one of the positives of a mob mentality. And so what else? Crazy week. God, this has been an emotional week for me. I think most weeks are somewhat emotional, but this is, I don't love being alone, right? I don't love being alone. the older I get, the more I realize like I want a companion in my life. I know 2021 is going to bring me a companion that's going to be amazing, and I don't need to worry and stress about it. I don't need to look back at, past things that I don't have in my life anymore. But gosh, I realized that in 2021 it's something that I really have struggled with, being honest with, is that like I've I've had great companions, and I've, sometimes they break off. Sometimes I broke it off. Sometimes I was too much of a D-bag to see what I had, or I was too always looking for the next best thing, which, there is no next best thing, because if you have something that's best thing for you, then there's really nothing better. But I've really struggled this year, um, being alone, and I became pretty introverted in the quarantine. I would work out, and then I'd come home, and I just didn't. I guess, one, there wasn't a lot to do, but two, I realized that I was, pretty happy alone. Like, I'm pretty happy not going out. I'm pretty happy being the life of the party. I'm pretty happy doing videos. I'm happy, but I'm happy at home. Like, I realize that I'm pretty happy at home. So even though I'm an extrovert in some situations, I'm also pretty introverted. I'm pretty shy, when I'm out and about. Like, if I'm in a group setting, then I might be a little bit more rambunctious and crazy. But I think the people that know me for the last 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, if they saw me when I was in my drinking phases, partying a lot, and if they saw me now, uh, just, I don't know. There's like, the desires are different. Like, I guess if I had children when I was younger, maybe I wouldn't have done the same things. But as I've gotten older, I would hate for my kids to see how I acted, especially, oh my gosh, if I had daughters, I would hate for them to have seen the way that I acted when I was going through my kind of like post divorce to my mid 30s. Yeah, like my mid 30s, close to my late 30s, maybe up until last year. I would absolutely have hated that they saw the way that I acted. I'd been so embarrassed to have to come home and look those little girls in the eyes and say, "Oh my God, this is what your dad was doing," and this was the kind of crazy shit that he was saying, and just acting the fool. Um, what up, Leslie? I got a dog. It's at my parents' house. He loves it there more than he likes it at my house. He has a backyard. He's got another dog to play with. I tried to pick him up on New Year's Eve to bring him over, and then I even tried to bring both dogs over, and they both wanted to chill at the house. They're like, "No, we know you got no backyard, you got no squirrels to chase." So he was content staying there. Eventually, I will uproot him though when I move. So I will uproot him at some point, and take him with me. But yeah, the little snot stayed at my parents' house because there's 5 people there. There's always somebody playing with him, and but when I lived in Seattle, when I after jail, I did have the puppy, and that was a godsend because they say you don't rescue the dog rescues you. Um, yeah, I don't do the whole praying thing. I manifest, so I just put it in my journal every night. The things that I love, and it's been really powerful. And I know 2021's my year. Like, I already know it. I can feel it in my heart that 2021 is the year that it's coming. Like, I totally understand what you're saying. Like, I know that 2021 is my year. Even like when I was young, my grandma said, like, you're going to get married for a second time when you're a little bit old, like in your late 30s. So I can't get any more late 30s than this, because I'm going to be 40 next year. But in my heart, I feel like this was the year. I know that there's things that I had to go through last year and the year prior to get to where I'm at today, which really suck. And, but that's just kind of where we're at. Right. The reason why I do these vulnerable talks about my life is because if it helps one person, like I got a message today from one person, and we're still young though, Leslie. we're still young. And, what I've done this last year I really deep dove into my health and fitness. I changed my diet. Well, I didn't really change my diet. I've always been pretty carnivore, but I got more focused on my diet. I got more focused on my health. I actually dropped 20 pounds during COVID, which I gained 10 of it back. But that'll be gone come mid-March. I don't like having this little belly, and I'm readjusting and learning how to eat again so that I'm not just carb loading all day long. Although I will be carb loading quite heavily for the next 4 weeks to keep kind of this 180-pound weight. But I don't know that it's pain or if it's a learning lesson. Right? I don't know if this is pain or if this is a lesson that I need to learn. Like, you got to go through the dark to see the light. And maybe it's because I haven't appreciated the women that I had in my past enough, because I didn't appreciate them. Maybe that's the reason why I still have to go through a little bit more dark to get to that higher vibration and get to the light, so that when I get the next person in my life, I will fully appreciate her, and treat her the way that she needs to be treated, so that we can build the future that we want. So maybe that's the reason why there's still some of this residual that I have to go through. And maybe it's because I had some things that I hadn't completed, which kind of put a energetic block on me attracting the right things into my life. Or maybe I just didn't realize that I had the right things in my life because I had an energetic block on myself. So I believe in spirituality. I believe in energy. I believe that we are all beings of energy, right? We all are energetic sources. And so if our energy and our vibrations are not matching, and if they're low because of the things that we're doing, then we are going to have challenges attracting somebody that's at the same energy level, or we might have challenges keeping them. Or we're going to attract people at our same energy levels, right? So if our vibrational energy is low, then we're going to attract people at that same vibration. And so if you want to have somebody who's at a super high level of vibration, you have to work on your vibration. And that's one of the great things about meditation, is that meditation helps clear, right? It helps clean the mind out, and then it helps reset you, and then it helps raise your vibration. And so, like, right behind me, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I have, a little meditation sheet, and I have a meditation cushion. And I haven't meditated a lot this year. That's the one thing that I did notice. So I try to take inventory once a week of what I did and what I didn't do and how I feel. And this week I didn't meditate a lot since New Year's. I did meditate yesterday for 20 minutes. That felt really good. It was very expansive. I felt the room actually expanding. I felt like I could push the walls out around. Like I felt like I was in the Matrix and I could bend things out. It was pretty fucking amazing. But other than that, I don't think I've meditated this year at all. And so, what I have been doing, though, more so this year, is I have been writing down in my journal manifestation things. And so when you work on manifestations, right, the most simple way that I can talk about manifestation is 8:30 at night, I have a gratitude alarm. So at 8:30 at night, I have an alarm that goes off. And if I'm out and about with people, and we're at dinner, then, the whole table will say their gratitudes, if they choose to. Typically, most people do. But then I also do like a visualization exercise, and I do a manifestation exercise. And I do that, right after I write out my gratitudes. And sometimes it's a little bit later. But I try to get into bed by about 9 o'clock most nights so that I can wake up early the next day. And what I write down is like, I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for that. Like, so, like yesterday was, I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my bed. I'm grateful for my car. I'm grateful that I get to help people on a daily basis. I'm grateful for my team. I'm grateful that I have heat. Oh man, I'm grateful for the water next to me. Where's my water? And then afterwards, grateful for my family. I'm grateful that I always have enough. I'm grateful that I have more than enough. I'm grateful that I'm able to give back. I'm grateful that I'm happy. And then after that, I will do the manifestation. And the manifestation is like, I love this. I love that. I love this. I love that. And, that really has changed my life, because as I do it consistently, money just shows up, right? Things come into the mail and you're like, oh, that's awesome. Or, opportunities arise that you weren't expecting, or people call you up out of the blue that you weren't expecting, right? And like, hey, I have this opportunity. I have this opportunity. And so you write down what you love as if it's already done, right? So like, I love my spouse, right? I write that down like almost every night. I love my spouse. I love my kids. I love always being debt free. I love that we live in a safe neighborhood. I love that we get to travel. I love our vacations. You write down how you want your life to be, right? You write down how you want your life to be. I love that I completed the project. I love my mentors. I love my coaches, right? I love the opportunities that always arise to me. Yes, I totally, Regiment. There, the universe is our playground. So when we ask for things, we got to be really specific too, because if you just ask for something and you don't, like I said, I love flowers, and my friend sent me flowers for my birthday, right? She didn't have to do that, but she knows that because I put it out there. I said I love bouquets of flowers, right? I love to have flowers in my house. I love to have plants in my house. I love live things in my house. And so she sent me flowers, right? That is a manifestation. That is the universe telling you how fast it works. Unfortunately, a lot of times we ignore those manifestations, right? So we don't pick up on those and we ignore them. But the universe is definitely our playground. And so we need to be specific about what we want. So after I'm done doing the journaling, right? The manifestations, writing out, I love, right? I write down, I love making $1 million a year, right? In multiple different businesses, right? You write down all the things, right? I write down that I love being able to give 10 Make-A-Wish Foundation gifts a year, right? I write it in a way that it's already done. So I love that I gave 10 what I don't know what they call it, wishes away this year, right? So you write it like it's already done. And then you, happy birthday to you as well, my fellow Cap. And then afterwards you visualize, right? You visualize. So like I do my manifestations in my bed. So I visualize waking up, kissing my lady on the forehead, and then going out for a workout, early in the morning, like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and then coming home and us having tea and coffee together and breakfast and chatting. And then the kids getting up and running. Like I visualize a weekend, so that the kids aren't having to run to school or work or things like that. She doesn't have to go to work either. And I visualize us spending the time together. And then I visualize the kids coming running and, daddy's home. And, like I'm biking or I'm running or whatever. And then, like I visualize us going on date night. Right. And so I've already visualized the date night happening. So like, I know that this is coming. I know that 2021 is the year. I visualize the business, right? Like I get to visualize that my accelerator program has 20 amazing people in it, that we're all working together to help each other build their businesses, build their lives, build the quality of their lives, build the quality of their business, right? So that they're not a slave to their business. I visualize that nightly these days. So I haven't been doing my meditation in the morning, but I've been doing my visualization exercise. So sometimes I take one thing off and I put one thing on. I'm going to move my rice and meat out of the way. So like, what are you manifesting right now in your lives? Right. I got a call today from somebody who said, hey, I saw your post on drinking and I've struggled for drinking my whole life. Like I've been ups and down with drinking my whole life and I'm tired of it. Can we chat sometime next week? Cause I want to know what I need to do. Did you go to meetings? Did you just stop cold turkey? Can I just stick to, wine? Do I need to get help? And I said, let's talk next week. So we put on the calendar and we have a call, right? So if one person can get inspired by something you're doing, That's pretty amazing in my opinion. Like, I think sometimes people always shoot for the stars. And, as I was talking to my friend today, he goes, Grant Cardone started out by being known for car sales, right? Then he became a coach for cars. And now he's, if you guys don't know who Grant Cardone is, he's, a social media superstar, but he also has, $1.5 billion in real estate that he owns and manages with himself and groups of other people, right? So he's created multiple streams of income for him and his family, but he started out small. And sometimes, like, as I go through and I'm looking at my life and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to get back to where I was a few years ago, with a big business and everybody knows about it, blah, blah, blah. My friend reminded me, like, hey, dude, just start small. Start small. So, like, what's your weekly process? Like, how do you recap your week? Right? How do you test to see if you were as productive, as happy, as fulfilled as you wanted to be? Like, what's your process? Is it daily journaling? Is it nightly, talks with the wife and the husband and the kids? Is it, what's your process? Is it typing up a blog? Is it for me, I do the videos. What's your process to get these things through? And so you can also take a second to look back and say, hey, what did I do that worked? And what did I do that didn't work this week? Right? Like, you guys can see in the back, there's that little thing on the ground right there. That's for the phone, because you can hear my phone going off. I'm addicted to this thing. That's one of the things that I've realized over the last 2 weeks, is that I'm super addicted to my phone. So I bought a Kindle last week and it came in just to see if I would read more, right? Because there's something about holding the phone or holding the technology that I love books. Like, everywhere you go in my house, I have books everywhere. But I find that because I'm so addicted to the cell phone, that I want the phone in my hand. So I want the technology. I want the screen time, right there. These little fuck things are so goddamn powerful. So I have to lock my phone up in the morning time when I'm doing work. But I found that the Kindle has been really a powerful thing for me, because I've read, like 25 pages out of a book this week. The book that I'm reading right now is the Story Brand. Hold on. It's on, I have it on Audible I'm listening to it on Audible. Building a Story Brand. Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. If you guys have not read that book and you're in business or sales, or you're leading a team that sells something, a service, which, I mean, let's be honest, we all are, you got to get that book, Building a Story Brand. It is amazing. Oh my God, it's amazing. So, what's your process for the end of the week? Like, what's your end of the process recap to let go of things that served you so you can do those more, and let go of the things that, or do the things that served you more of, and let go of the things that didn't serve you? Like, what's your process? What do you do? How do you handle it? Like, how do you track your fulfillment success? How are you tracking your personal successes, right? I know in business, it's easy. You have your KPIs, right? Key performance indicators. How many phone calls did your salespeople make? How many appointments did they do? How many sales did they have? Did you guys have any chargebacks or returns, right? Those are easy. Canceled memberships, right? Those are easy. You can track your marketing. Okay, we spent $1,000. We got 100 leads. So that, cost per lead is $10. And, we converted X amount of Z, this, that, so that's easy in business. It just takes work, right, to process your KPIs, right? Somebody's got to track it, and it's a manual process, and they, or you can have a system like a dialer that does some of it, but there's still some manual processes in there. So business is easy, but how are you testing the barometer for your own fulfillment? Right? How do you test the barometer for your own fulfillment? Like, is my heart fulfilled with what I did this week? And not every week will it be super fulfilled. Not every week will the work you do be 100% fulfilling to your heart. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But how are you testing this right here? Right? And if you don't take some time to look back, right, every week, or maybe a little bit of time every day to just see what went on in the day, like, that's why I do a nightly gratitude, because I get to look through my day and say, what was really powerful for me today? Like, what was really powerful for me today? Like, what stuck out? Like, for me today, my coach at the gym said, hey, dude, I want to come to your OsteoStrong and check it out. And I forgot that, like, 4 weeks ago when we started working together, He and I were talking about that. He's like, hey, I could probably send some people your way. But that wasn't my focus to go in there with him. It was, yes, at first I was like, hey, we could do a trade or something like that. And they're like, no, I don't need a trade. I need to invest into myself, right? I want to make that physical investment. Now, he came back and said, hey, let's do a trade. Or he said, let me look at your business tomorrow. And I was like, oh, shit, I completely forgot about bringing it up. So so I'm grateful that he's interested in it because he did some research or whatever it is. So I'm grateful for that, right? So you look back through your day, you can see the things you're grateful for, right? But what else can you do to improve on your day? What can you do to improve on your week so that next week is better than this week, right? We're on day 8 of January. So we've already got, out of the 52 weeks of the year, let's say you work 50, 49 are left, right? 49 weeks are left. We are time is going fast, right? So what are you doing to check your fulfillment to make sure that you're right here is expanding at all times? Put it in the comments, drop me a DM, right? I know some people don't like to share their stuff publicly, and that's okay. Like not everybody's crazy like Vikram that wants to put their life out on a camera. But if you want to share privately, send me a DM. I'd love to know because it could help me. It could help other people. If you send me something, I'm not going to put your name on blast unless you say I can. But I hope you guys are amazing. Thank you, everybody who commented, Leslie, Rajvinder, everybody who watched. I hope you guys have a blessed weekend. And I hope you guys find work that fulfills your heart more and more every day. Setting 3 daily realistic goals to get to your main weekly goal. I mean, at the end of every day, it's also about accountability, right? You need to hold yourself accountable to the words you say. The saying about action speaks louder than words have so much truth to it. If you're not sticking to your daily plan, then your weekly goals, then you're going to be a vicious cycle. So I actually wrote a blog this morning. If you guys want to get on my email list, I'd love to shoot me a DM or put your email in the chat. And I actually wrote a blog today about the difference between like an Elon Musk and a Richard Branson and most people, and it's action, right? Action over fear, right? So when you set your goals, right, it's every time you get online and you say something and you're in front of a camera, it's there for life. Like you can't take these things back. Like you can delete them, but once it's out there, it's out there. You put it out there. And so taking action is way more important than sitting in fear. Setting a couple of small goals every day. And then if you don't hit those goals, at the end of the night, you look back, you say, why didn't I hit them? What happened? Right? Or maybe you're on track to hitting them, but there's something that takes a little bit longer that you didn't know at the beginning of the day. So instead of beating yourself up that you didn't get to where you needed, praise yourself for taking the action and then say, okay, what do I need to do tomorrow or Thursday or Friday or Saturday or Sunday or whatever the day is to make sure I hit them, right? And you got to hold yourself accountable. I mean, everybody needs, like my trainer pushes me sometimes, right? Probably most of the times he pushes me harder than I think I can push myself, but it's my responsibility to get to the gym on time so that I'm not losing time with him. So if I have a 10 o'clock appointment and I show up at 10:45, sure, I worked out, but I worked out for 15 minutes instead of the, hour that I'm supposed to be with him. So it's on you to hold yourself accountable to your actions. And you're not living. Yeah, I love that. It's a lifestyle. Like people are like, oh, I'm on a diet. I'm like, you're going to go right back to where you were +5. You don't go on diets, you go on lifestyles, right? So you have to know what your lifestyle is. Like, for yesterday, one of our instructors that we're doing the project with in a couple of weeks, he said, I don't have cheat days. He's like, I don't have cheat days. If I want pizza, I conscientiously eat pizza, but I don't have cheat days. He's like, I don't want the word cheat in my life. He said, so I have conscientiously made a decision that I'm going to eat food that I know isn't 100% healthy for me, but it was a decision I made because I know that every day of my life, right? Every day of my life, I'm doing the right thing. And so if I eat pizza once a quarter or once every 6 months, he says, it's not going to hurt me. But if I make if I'm just unconscious and I eat pizza every day because it feels good, right? Or, oh, it's my Sunday, so I'm going to cheat. He said, that's why people don't get results in life. And I was like, that's absolutely correct. right? You can't cheat your way through life. You can't have one day where you cheat out of 7, right? Think about that percentage, right? Think about the percentage. It's like a 15, 16% of your week is cheating, right? That's automatically means that the highest score you could get would be a B on a test if you're cheating your way through life. So you got to be committed, right? When your wants become musts, right? When your wants become musts, your life will change. I'm not interested in any word with die in it. Well, what did I say? Cheat. What did I say that has die in it? I don't know what word I use that has die in it. Like I was in transmission from above mode, and I totally missed out what word I said that had die in it. But anyway, diet. Fuck yeah, fucking diets. People in their fucking diets. All right. I mean, everybody wants the easy way out. Everybody wants the vaccine. Everybody wants the stimulus money. Everybody wants this. Everybody wants that. But how many people actually put in the work, right? How many of you guys have put in the work this year to make yourselves healthier, to make yourself stronger, right? I'm talking about this year, 2021. We've been here for 8 days, right? How many of you put in the work realistically, honestly, integrity wise? How many of you put in the work for your health? Right? Most people, they want the easy part out. They want the easy way out. Everybody not everybody, but a majority of the people want the easy way out. And the easy way in and the easy way out will always get you the easy results that everybody can get. If you want the hard results, you got to stay home. You got to do the work, right? You got to go to the events. You got to go to the seminars. You got to hire the coaches. You got to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. You got to do the work. You got to read the books. You got to listen to the podcasts, right? You got to do the work, because if you want to be on a diet, you're just going to die. Anyways, love to you. I hope you're having a beautiful weekend. Have a great one. And